Hi, Leslie. Where I'm standing in Loudoun County in Leesburg, this is the area that took the brunt of this storm damage about 7:45 this morning. Let me take you through the scene where we are here off of Route 15 and Battlefield Parkway, a row of townhomes. You can see there's trees all over this neighborhood. This one of the biggest ones that came down, knocking fencing here all through. You can see the fence line is just strewn out here on the ground. This is one of the townhomes that got the worst amount of damage. Look up there. The siding is just peeled back. The insulation in the side of that has fallen to the ground. All of this white stuff you see out here, right? This is all attic insulation that has just been sucked out of that area. To give you a better look around the entire area, we've got some aerial footage we can show you from Leesburg. A very wide swath of damage. There are scenes like this repeated throughout the community here. A lot of trees down. There are trees down on homes. There are trees down on cars. There is a spot over just about 50 meters from where I'm standing where they had trees come down in the backyard. Some roof shingles came off where the house just got put on the market for sale yesterday. The owner planning to do an open house on that location this weekend. So the damage not specifically confined to this area. We're going to go about 4 miles to the south and west of my location right now. That's where meteorologist Melissa Nord is standing by live, right near Route 15 and Route 7. And I know, Melissa, you were out there earlier as the National Weather Service was coming out to take a look at things and survey that area to see what exactly happened.
And Adam, they have been back at the office after.
We'll send it back to Adam.
All right, Topper, thank you. We've moved locations. Take a look over here. That's where we just were standing, about 200 meters away, 200 yards away, where the siding had been ripped off of that townhome. Come and look back here. This is some of that siding right here. It just flew all the way down here. And then take a look behind me here. This is a car under this massive tree that has come down. Some damage on the hood there. It looks like the windshield might still be intact. This damage extending from Virginia well into Maryland as well. My colleague Nathan Baca is in Dickerson, Maryland right now, which is in Upper Montgomery County. And Nathan, I have a feeling that you were awoken to the same thing I was this morning, the alert going off on the phone saying that there was a tornado warning in our region. I live just down the street in Clarksburg, Maryland. It was quite a shock to hear that on a winter morning. What kind of damage are you seeing up there?
Adam Longo is anchoring our live team coverage. Hey, Ads.
Leslie, good evening once again. The sounds of chainsaws and wood chippers have been echoing throughout this community since about 8 o'clock this morning when this storm came through with quite a vengeance. We've moved into a different location in the neighborhood now, but you can see these townhomes, many of them have had the siding completely ripped off. Look down here. This is one of the gutters that has just been mangled and just come crumbled down here. There are trees on top of cars, on top of buildings. A lot of folks seeing a lot of damage. In fact, still not a lot of power in this neighborhood as well. I was at a pizza restaurant, which is literally just a couple hundred meters from where we're standing. They had no power, but they were still cranking out pizzas because they have a gas-powered oven. In fact, they had an order of 40 pizzas in the hopper. I want to take you to some video that one of our viewers shot and sent to us. This is from Steve Casarius, who was driving through Leesburg and captured this video. Just a scene repeated for miles and miles here with the trees down everywhere. There is debris scattered about. Power is slowly starting to come back on in this area right now, but it's going to take quite a while for this all to get cleaned up. Come back out here to me live in Leesburg. I'm here with Pete Montine. You were out here shortly after this storm came through and had a chance to talk with folks in this neighborhood about what they went through.
Yeah, you know, I just talked to some folks who live in that townhome back there, 504 Jared Lane. They say Ava was one of the first ones to say, we've got to go to the basement.
Right, they're going to respond to what you have going on right now. You know, interestingly enough, some of the folks I've talked to this neighborhood, they said that they didn't get any alerts at all, trying to confirm still what was going on here at that moment, but a lot of folks saying that they had no warning for this
And
whatsoever.
the Houghton said that too. They said the first alert that they had was really the howling wind and the bottom of their attic flexing like it was a poltergeist movie.
Yeah, you just have to freeze and then you have to take action to get everyone safe. Pete Montine, thank you.
No problem.
All right, so one of the things that we want to talk about here too is as far as the rain that we've gotten over the past few days, so kind of separating ourselves a moment from the damage we've gotten. Because we've had an above average winter as far as warmth, with all the rain that we've gotten and the flood watch we had over the last 24 hours, I want to show you a little demonstration here, right? So I've got a pitcher of water, I've got a cutting board, and I've got a sponge. All right, so had it been normally cold, right, just like a normal winter, this ground would have been frozen. All the rain that we've gotten, it would have just come in and run off just like that, and we would have seen some severe flooding. But because the ground is not frozen, it's going to soak up more of that rain. And that's why we didn't have the flooding that we would have experienced had the ground been frozen when we had all of that rain and we had that flood watch ongoing over the last 24 to 36 hours. Let's check in with Topper now. It seems like the worst is behind us, but listen, man, the winds are definitely coming in here and it is definitely getting frigidly cold. The thing with Virginia, and I'm going to take you through that in a second, just wanted to give you a glimpse at the electoral map real quick. President Trump leading in the electoral count by the number of states that have been called so far, 212 to 210. I want to take you through county by county, and one of the interesting things that we've been learning about in Virginia is this, okay? So in elections past, when mail-in and absentee ballots have not been that much of a thing, when we look up here and we see this number, 99%, right? We're thinking that's 99% of the total number of votes that have come in. In this particular election, where we've got a large number of votes that have come in mail and absentee ballot, what we should actually have, and we don't at this point, is two numbers. So Virginia is reporting 99%. That's the people who voted in person. We also need to have another number right here that says, okay, this is the number of mail-in ballots that have been counted. We do not have that yet. And the reason that that is screwing things up here for our results is, so for instance, I'm going to zoom in here on Stafford County. Stafford County was won by President Trump 51% back in 2016. So that would, looking at this number right now, you would think, oh, okay, Stafford County has flipped, because you look at that and you see that 100%. But that 100% is the people who voted in person. It's not necessarily a reflection of how many absentee and mail-in ballots have been counted in Stafford County. That's why we truly don't know the results and an accurate picture of what's happening in Virginia right now. That's why we're not calling Virginia for President Trump right now. That's why we're not calling Virginia for Democratic Senator Mark Warner right now. 17 people in my family got coronavirus, but I didn't. My wife didn't. My kids didn't either. We were all together in East Tennessee. My mom passed away 2 days after Election Day. We were all there for her funeral. We all came from different places with different restrictions: Maryland, Florida, Texas, California, Ohio. My dad, my brother, and I, we all knew we should all wear our masks. We weren't about to tell people not to come and miss their chance to say their final goodbyes to Mom. Masks would be required at the funeral home and at the church service. But that's where it ended. A gathering at the hotel and a gathering at my dad's house. My wife, my kids, myself, we were diligent about keeping our masks on. Other people weren't. Only a handful of people went home from Tennessee without contracting COVID-19. I'd say we got lucky, but what we did was follow the best advice of health and medical experts. There's a lot of clutter on TV and online about, do masks work? I'm not going to get into it. Debate it all you want. Here's the only thing I'll say. They worked for us. We didn't get COVID. A lot of other people we were around did. Just think about that. If you're considering gathering with family and friends for the holidays, was it safe for my family to lower their masks around each other because no one had symptoms and we all felt comfortable with each other? Clearly not. There wasn't any invisible force field protecting my dad's house from COVID. That's ridiculous. Days after losing his wife of 45 years, the most traumatic event in his life, days later, my 76-year-old father tested positive for coronavirus. Thankfully, he's slowly getting over it. 2% of people who get COVID will die, according to Johns Hopkins. Is that a risk you're willing to take? Please consider all the verified and undisputed information you have at your disposal when you make plans for the holidays. Keep your friends and family safe. Let's crush this virus and have the happiest New Year in history. Okay, so here's what I've been hearing, and it absolutely breaks my heart. A lot of you in the federal workforce are over 50, have underlying health problems, and if you don't have those problems, there's somebody in your household who has those problems, or is at higher risk. Hi, Jeremy, at higher risk of getting coronavirus and being exposed. So the fact that you guys have been forced to be in the office this whole time, putting yourselves at risk, putting your coworkers at risk, putting your loved ones at risk when you go home, and I've been hearing from so many of you who have been telling me these stories about the curtness and the lack of respect that you've been hearing from your managers and your supervisors in the office. In fact, many of you have been telling me that your managers and supervisors are teleworking while they expect you to have your butt in the chair at the office doing your work. So they're safe at home, you're in the office exposed. What sort of example is that? What sort of leadership is unfolding in the IRS and in these other federal agencies? It's mind-boggling. State of New York just went 100% for workforce to stay home. We're still required to go into work. Man, Brookhaven, y'all got to get up out of there. Jeremy, you're watching. Brother, you're in New Jersey, right? Or New York. The Brookhaven Service Center for the IRS out in Long Island. Man, they're forcing people by the thousands to come into work and process tax returns and do this. The federal government is not enforcing its own social distancing mandate. And all these folks out there unnecessarily are going into work, especially in New York City, which is basically the United States epicenter for this, for the most cases. That's where it's spreading the most. I mean, anybody in the New York metropolitan area needs to stay the hell at home, right? That's what the medical experts are saying. That's what the president is saying. That's what Governor Cuomo is saying. So how does some plebe supervisor in the IRS that oversees New York think that they know better than all those people, and you guys still got to go into the office? Somebody's going to get sick. More than that, if somebody in the office gets sick and gets tested and comes up positive, they're going to have to close down the whole damn place anyway, right? So why put people at risk? Why put the office at risk? You know, and I'm telling you that their biggest concern this week has been to try to find the source of that video that was sent to me from Atlanta. The guy, the girl in the IRS office who sent me an anonymous video showing that it's still business as usual there. All right, folks are coming in for the White House briefing. The president's going to be speaking here any second. Do you guys want me to turn the phone around on the briefing? Do you want me to just turn up the volume and I can kind of react to what I'm hearing? Kind of give me some guidance here, man. We'll keep this Facebook Live going.
Here's my final thought for tonight. Take it slow and steady. Studies show that it takes 66 days to lock in a new habit. So I want to talk about your New Year's resolutions. If any of them involve getting in shape, losing weight, or setting an athletic goal, follow me here. It's great to jump into things, but be careful about going too hard, too fast. If you do that, you're setting yourself up for failure and injury. Now, this is me with my wife in 2003. I know, right? At 5'9", I weighed 250 pounds. We were engaged for 14 months before our wedding, and by setting small goals and connecting with the right people, I got all the weight off by the time we got married in 2005. In the 15 years since, I've taken on marathon running, triathlon, and an ever-evolving nutrition regimen. Now, I'm telling you all this because here's my New Year's resolution for this year: to engage more with you. You're nice enough to invite me into your home. Now, let me do something for you. If you got a fitness goal, a nutrition goal, a weight loss goal, but you don't know where to start or who to talk to me. If you're a man or woman, black, white, whether you're 18 or 80, it doesn't matter. I'm happy to offer encouragement and advice based on my own experiences, or I can help connect you with an expert who can help you meet your goals. From Fredericksburg to Frederick, Strasburg to Salisbury, wherever you are, pull up Facebook, type in my name, Adam Longo, ask me a question, and let's get 2020 started. Listen, if you don't think you can do it, but you're like, of course you can do it. I'm no genetic superhero. All it takes is the willpower to get done the things that you want to get done. Thanks so much for joining us tonight for the Q&A. I'll see you back here tonight for WUSA9 News at 11.